See, bro, this is how I know most of y'all are just miserable, bro. They're talking about they're gonna fix punch tracking. They're gonna fix power punching. They're bringing back flash KOs. They're fixing Andy Ruiz's hand speed. Fixing his rating. And what do you guys do? Thumbs down, gay, clown, shit. Bro, this is what y'all been asking for. What do you mean?
When you knock the road, hello, Satan.
Prince with 1,000 enemies.
When you knock the road, hello, Satan.
Welcome to W.B.G.C. It's episode 12. We're going to be talking about the update that's coming out, which seems to be next week at some point. We got some awesome guests, some returning faces, but we have a new guest. We got WhatWePlayinMike, and I'd like to introduce him to all of you. Welcome aboard. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on? Thank y'all for having me. All that good stuff, man. I'm doing good. How about y'all, man?
Doing good so far. Since you're new to the show, just give us some tidbits. Tell us about yourself, where you come from, what you do.
I'm actually a TikTok content creator. I do a lot of stuff on TikTok for Undisputed. I'm always pretty much like Crooks, man. I'm always posting the updates, stuff like that, man. A lot of content tutorial type stuff. I'm also co-owner of a Undisputed boxing league, sim boxing league called Fight Factory. We've grown pretty fast. I think we're about 80 members in. We do like offline fights, live events. I use my platform to stream for the guys, who want to do live events and stuff like that, man. But yeah, that's pretty much just my background with Undisputed, man. I've been playing since release, man, over almost 1,200 hours. Just working, man. Just trying to help give build awareness for the community of Undisputed, man.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man. We need it more than ever, and I think you might be one of the first few people I actually hear doing things on TikTok. It's rare to see undisputed TikTokers. I don't know too many except for you just recently.
Yeah, man. I think TikTok was a really good market for me to, when I first got started. I tried streaming on Twitch, YouTube, other platforms like that, but I just kind of went with what people started gravitating to me on. So yeah, I've definitely embraced TikTok as my main platform, but I'm slowly working on getting my YouTube channel and other stuff going as well. So
That's good to hear. Well, thank you for joining us. That's going to lead us into our topic, which is going to be essentially what's coming out. I'm sure you guys have all seen what is coming next week, and it's a lot of things we've been kind of really wanting. So I guess let's just kick it off with, how do you all feel about this gameplay update? With previous history, we know that the bigger and the more things they like to add, sometimes something might break. So I'm slightly worried, but I'm very excited at the same time. So I want to get y'all's feedback on it. Deuce, let's start with you.
I'm looking forward to the new update. The content they just released, it was pretty good in regards of the fighters and all that. I'm just very, very skeptical on how all of these fixes are going to translate in online still. As of late, I've been doing a lot of streams via remote play and things like that. And the experience on there is so night and day when it comes to the desync and knowing exactly when to hit, when to block, and all that. And all of these additions that they're going to bring in this update next week sounds great. I'm just holding my breath in hopes that it translates well to online, because like you said, they'll fix 5 things and then 10 things may break. So I'm hoping that we'll be in for the money, seeing as that the last 4 or 5 updates has been pretty good, but that desync is still a factor in every single one. So just hoping this one may be the one.
100%. All right, Crooks, got anything to say about that?
I mean, where do we start? No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited for the game. If you guys have been watching my channel and stuff like that, you guys know I've been talking about them needing to revamp a lot of things that are wrong in the game. So I'm happy that I feel like this is kind of a makeup. This gameplay update is more of a makeup for what we didn't get in the patch. But it's fixing some really, really big things. One of them being obviously the punch accuracy. They have been saying in the Discord that they have found a bug that was causing major issues with punch accuracy. So that's being fixed. So I'm looking forward to that. As well as just, a lot of other things that needed to be adjusted. The power uppercuts, the power uppercut ranges. I don't know about y'all. I got tired of getting hit by these damn power body uppercuts with Terrence
Mm.
Crawford and Sugar Ray Robinson and
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder and all that. As well as like a small bug, like the one that they're fixing. Fighters like their shots going over their head inside the pocket. That one's absolutely ridiculous.
Ooh.
So I'm glad that they're starting to fix what the community has been asking them to fix since launch. So I'm hoping, like you guys, I'm hoping it doesn't break anything else, but I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Like that, especially going over the head, I can definitely say I'm sick of that. And then as soon as they swing, it's a counter for them. When they messed up the first, I was like, never mind, I'm gonna let that go. Burger Man, what you got to say?
I mean, I'm optimistic. I want to be happy that we're getting some good content from them and they keeping their word on delivering, and they are delivering. It's
Yeah,
just the speed is not as we want it, but beggars can't be choosers. We gotta take a little bit right now.
right. Work with what you got. I'm about to say, deal with the hand you're dealt with. I understand that for sure. Grumpy, what you got?
I've been saying it all along, baby steps, after almost 2 years of going backwards, the fact that we're finally, on a good 4 to 6 month stretch and we're getting into the meat and potatoes fixes now, which yeah, they do have a track record of breaking things when they work on something else. But I think these new devs that they've hired and continue to hire are starting to gel now. And the fact that they are actually finding bugs that they think are responsible for some of these issues, as opposed to it just being a Unity issue or, not knowing how to properly code something. So they're getting there and we'll see what happens, but right now I'm optimistic.
I agree. I'm about to say let the team cook. About to say it's a new team, so we just need to let them sit in the booth. And it seems like they have been cooking up some things, I guess, faster than I anticipated. And I hope that they just keep this pace going. We'll see if they do so. Playing Mike, what you got to add?
Uh, Pretty much everything that everybody said. One of the big things I'm really looking forward to is it seems like they're adding a vulnerability system, or with the flash KOs. Like it's not just knockouts. Obviously, it's all the flash events. So whether it's a flash knockout, flash knockdown, or even a dazed state, I'm really excited about that because I'm real big on being patient, being a counter puncher, and I want to be able to. I felt like a lot of the fights we're going to later rounds, just because guys can get up 6, 7 times, but to bring flash knockouts back to boxing, that's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing. I think it was much needed. I do appreciate them taking their time. Like I would rather them take it out of the game how they did and try to revise it. So I mean, pretty much just like what everybody else is saying, man. We're all, I feel like we're all hopeful, but with these updates, what's gonna, hopefully it doesn't break anything else. So that's pretty much, my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I think we can get behind that. So let's hope that this next update kind of brings that about, which kind of brings me to the question with the revised Flash KOs. Like you said, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as random or RNG. It's like there's going to be some conditions for you to actually
Right.
get it, which is nice. So hopefully they will continue doing that. I guess to bring something up that might not be, just for shits and giggles, fighters. I do know that the DLC that came out did bring some uniqueness, which we have been kind of losing with these past couple DLC packs, and this one kind of brought some life into these fighters. So, do you guys feel that they should continue to go down this route? Every so often there might be a couple samey fighters for the sake of just easy to put out, but you think they should continue to put more unique fighters, especially being free. Jack Dempsey being free was kind of a shock, but I'm not complaining. It's great. That kind of brings me to the question, who would you guys want to see updated and maybe come into the game as we get closer and closer to the game, kind of getting to completion?
Um, I guess I'll talk since everybody's quiet.
Go ahead, Deuce.
Well, obviously, I would love to see Mike Tyson. Um, I would love to see a Spinks pack. I've said it before. I would really, really, really love to see Michael, Corey, and Leon in a pack. I think that
Yeah.
would do a huge justice for us boxing fans, and of course Lennox Lewis and Holyfield. But I think a Spinks pack would be great. But we can't forget about that Jack Johnson. I know you mentioned Dempsey, but Jack Johnson, that was a big W addition for them to add him
Hmm.
for free. Because if you know Jack Johnson, then you know.
Yes. That was a shock. I was like, wait, I thought he would be paid for with how well known he was, but hey, we take what we can get, right?
And I love it.
They are keeping up with the free content, so hopefully they keep rolling out some free fighters every so often. Grumpy, who would you want to see updated or come in next?
Honestly, as they excuse me, as long as they keep adding fighter styles like with the Dempsey and the Jack Johnson, I know they have other styles that they just haven't implemented in the game yet. So
Mhm.
as far as who they bring out, as long as they keep bringing them out, I'm not really concerned. I think they're doing a good job. This last pack with the price, including the free fighters, it wasn't too bad.
Mhm.
And I've always been a big Vargas guy, so I'm very happy to see him in there. And like I said, whoever they bring out, I don't care. Just keep bringing them out. I'll pay $2, $3 a fighter all day long.
100%. Burger Man.
I'm happy that the Camacho's in the game.
Yeah. Let's say I think you were especially looking for certain kinds of fighters coming in, and I think this update definitely kind of hooked it up a bit, yeah?
Yeah, I like the fact that he's in the game. He feels really unique. I play with Benavidez. He feels good. So to me, in my opinion, I have no complaints about it. I know they're gonna up his stats up right quick for his speed,
Hmm.
but I like to have. I like the fact that they feel different. That's a plus.
Yes. Crooks.
Um, I mean, I was really happy with the pack. I mean, the David Benavidez pack, it was actually really, really good. Vargas, I become a Vargas main, so I've been using him all day against everybody. He feels very, very good.
Hmm.
David Benavidez's animations were nice. They were really nice. I'm really glad that in this next gameplay update, they're increasing his punch speed because that was a little bit lacking.
Hmm.
Just because of those animations were a little bit on the slower side to keep up with middleweight. Um, but overall, I was really happy with the fighters they did release, and I really like how they're blending stars from nowadays with stars from back in the day.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a really good balance because you're getting the best of both worlds. As far as who I would like to see added, I've been getting a lot of feedback from people in the community saying, they need to get Shakur Stevenson in the game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been overwhelmingly like people are like, why isn't he in the game yet? Why isn't he in the game yet? So him, probably obviously some of the older fighters, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, people, guys that want the older superstars added into the game. But overall, I feel like they're really in a good place. I'd be anticipating probably somebody like Edgar Berlanga being in the game because he's fighting
Yeah.
pretty soon. That would make sense. But just keep up the nice blending of newer stars and older stars being added into the game, and keeping the prices at the same. Don't charge people $20 for a
Yeah.
fighter pack. That's crazy.
Yeah, that news price tag was definitely welcome. And I feel like each update with the pack, the price got lower each time. So I wonder if this is going to be like the price point that they keep it at. Playing Mike, what you got?
Uh, I think as far as fighters that they've added just recently, obviously, I like Vargas, and I ain't trying to steal your idea, Crooks, but I really do like Vargas. My brother, he here too. He can attest for that. I like Benavidez. I've tried using some of the lower overall fighters. Now, me personally, I think no disrespect to those guys professionally. I don't, whatever. But some of those fighters for DLC, I would have liked to have seen, like, especially with it being called the Mexican Monster Pack. I would have liked to maybe see like Oscar De La Hoya, some of those other guys, like they could have replaced, like, like I said, like Charles Martin, Helena, I think that's his name, Helenas or
Robert,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Hmm.
and because the way the state of play right now, nobody's as good, as unique as those fighters might be. Nobody's really going to risk it going out there with an 81 overall fighter, in a land where everybody's still using, the best, the top guys.
Right.
Um, Now, as far as, fighters, I'd like to see. I don't know if they have the license to these guys, but like Abdullah Mason, man, I'd like to see some of the
Hmm.
younger kind of up and coming Abdullah. Obviously, Kid Austin, he just had a great showing just recently, I think he would be a really good addition. I'm not sure like Carmel Moat, all those guys, they're still young, but like Keyshawn Davis, maybe fighters like that, man. But overall, man, honestly, I'm kind of like Grumpy, man. Like whoever they give us, I'm gonna buy it. And at the end of the day, like, as long as they just keep giving us fighters, keep rolling them out, you know, I don't really have too many complaints, man.
I'm about to say, no, fair enough. You bring up a good point, which I hope this update will really shine through, where people don't really pick the lower rateds because why would you, especially with the tracking and their stats being put in? It's like you might as well just use the higher overalls because they're more consistent. Using the lower rated fighters kind of puts you at risk, even though they might be your favorite. Um, it might not just be a good time to use them, which makes me sad because that's primarily what I use when I play. But we'll see. We'll see as the update comes out. Um, I just kind of for fun made a community DLC list. I kind of want to run it by y'all and see what y'all think. If I have been listening to the community enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the 7 paid and the 3 free, and then any other comments you guys have about the update. Otherwise, we can wrap it up. So let me give you the list. I'm gonna start with first Marvin Hagler. We talked about that just now. Andre Ward, Prince Nassim, Shakur Stevenson, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, and Evander Holyfield. How would y'all feel as them being like paid? And then the free ones, there's a choice here. You can do a theme with the influencers, and the influencers being, don't roast me for this, y'all. Logan Paul, KSI, and Tommy Fury as the freebies. Or Joseph Parker, Lucian Butte, I think his name, the last name, Butte, or Felix Trinidad as the freebies. How do y'all feel about that being like, if that were the quote unquote next pack, how would y'all feel about that?
They
Sounds
better
good.
give me some influencers for free because I sure as hell ain't paying for them.
For real.
Yeah.
I'd pay 25 for those first 7 you named.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I definitely the influencers. I wish they would have done that with Jake Paul and kind of when they did the Jake Paul pack, kind of made that an influencer pack. So they put
Yeah.
all of them in one weight class because I think that's the big issue when people see Jake Paul at cruiserweight, 84 overall, right next to the cruiserweight champion Ja Opataya, who's an 84 overall, and people
It's
are.
like,
But if you put
what?
them in their own weight class, like I guess we would say influencers, then him being
Hmm.
an 84 doesn't really have too much to do with because we can't do cross weight fights. Like you can't do like a
Right.
cruiserweight versus a welterweight. So, but yeah, I'd pay good money for those first 7, man.
Nice.
Felix
Let's see.
Trinidad's in there, you said?
He'll be one of the free ones if
I'm
you
buying.
wanted to kick out the influencers.
I'm buying regardless. As long as the Puerto Ricans in there, I'm good.
Good to know. I was thinking about that when I put him on that list. I was like, come on, I think Burger will
Yeah.
like that one. I was thinking about you when I put that on there.
They
Any
got my
other
money.
I'm trying to think. Any other comments or anything you guys want to make about the update? I think we pretty much hit, I think everything we need to hit.
I'm just
I do have a
curious. One thing with this potential, update coming out, they said as early as next week. So hopefully in the next week or two, do you guys think we're going to get characters with that update? And are they going to be free?
I saw Saf, I
Ooh.
believe, in the Undisputed Discord. I did see him say that this update was purely gameplay because people were asking, are there going to be DLC fighters? And I know he's on the dev team. He pretty much was like, nah, this is going to be purely gameplay and no fighters. But
Who
that
knows?
yeah, who knows at the end of the day? But one of the devs is saying it. Normally they'll kind of hint. I think Crooks, you be in the Discord a lot too. They might kind of hint at it, but for them to just openly say no fighters are coming. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah,
not sure though, but.
Yeah.
yeah, no, they did come out and say that there was going to be no fighters, and it kind of makes sense. We just got brand new DLC fighters, and there's 9 of them, so that, I mean, that's a lot. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And that's kind of, it'll kind of be a little bit too soon. And I know that JX Shep wants to, obviously he's going to need a little bit more time to do like promotion because he's the one who puts out the videos and the promos and all that stuff. to get it all recorded, literally like what, a week or two after they dropped the patch is pretty quick. But
Okay. Um, there was one other small little topic, I think. Oh, yes, that's right. So, while we have some of the content creators in here, speaking of that, I think I've heard some talks, maybe of Deuce and Crooks, maybe battling it out at some point. Y'all want to give us a little snippets on that? Like, what's going on?
I think Grumpy, since he's the man behind the plan with this, he might be able to give you more detail than me and Crooks can.
Grumpy, what you
Yeah,
know?
man. We're always trying to build the community, you know, the competitive foundation of the community. I figured what two better guys to do that? You know, I know Crooks, I've given up on even trying to follow any news in the official Discord. I just watch his shows, you know what I'm saying? Everything he
Mhm.
does, and he keeps me up to date on that. And then obviously Deuce, my man plays 3 times a day religiously every day. He probably plays more than anybody I know. So figured let's get these guys together. We're going to try out the Match Reno platform so people can contribute. There's free sponsor quests, and we'll have some more information coming out about that as far as a press conference. And, you know, this might be a pay to play event. It might end up being a charity event. At the end of the day, it's really what the fighters want to do. But there'll be more coming out about that soon. Have a press conference, let everyone know what's going on.
Good to hear. About to say the community's got to stick together. We're pretty tight knit, I'd say. So whatever we can do to get things out there and make things more fun for everybody, that's good things.
Definitely looking
Uh,
forward to it. Well, I will say is I am coming in for that dub, Crooks.
Oh,
It's,
oh.
I wouldn't be expecting anything else. But not to kind of piggyback off what Grumpy just said too. Um, you know, we do want to stick together in the community. I know everybody loves to see everybody at odds, right? Like they want one content creator to beef with another one, but when we can all come together and put our put everything together for the betterment of the community, that's really where we need to be at.
yeah.
And like Grumpy said, I've been hearing we're gonna do this for charity. So I mean, everybody that tunes in, it might be a pay to play type of thing, but everything that I'm gonna be getting from the fight personally is gonna be going to charity. So we're really just doing it for the fun of it. And
Same
yeah,
here.
man.
Same
Hopefully,
here.
hopefully we could do more stuff like this and maybe get some more content creators in there. But yeah, Deuce, you're gonna get put to sleep, buddy. That's just the
Oh.
way it's gonna go. That's just the way it's gonna go.
Uh-oh.
I can't wait till we pick our weight class. I just hope and pray that you don't run into my main. It's gonna be a long night for you.
That's it. That's going to be a great event. We're definitely looking forward to that. I guess with that being said, I think we've covered everything we need to cover for this episode. So I greatly appreciate everyone who came in. We'll be playing Mike, Grumpy, Deuce, Burger Band, Crooks. Thank you all. And everybody keep an eye out for all of these folks with their content. They've been doing some pretty good stuff. Maybe I'll come along and join along on the fun on Twitch for that. But I think that's all we have for tonight. So I guess let's go ahead and call it. And thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.
Early this morning,
Prince with 1,000
when you knocked on my door.